Oh, yes. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are trying out an eyeshadow palette, a new eyeshadow palette from Patrick Ta. Patrick Ta has quickly become one of my all-time favorite brands, and they just launched their very first eyeshadow palette. This is called the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. I actually bought this the other day. I'm so excited to try this out. I know so many people have already posted their reviews. I debated on whether or not I should film with this, but honestly, I'm so excited to try this. I figured there are probably a lot of you who are excited as well. So we're just going to be focusing on this today. I'm going to be creating an eye look, obviously. So I bought the palette, obviously, and then there were also 4 eyeliners in the collection. I don't wear eyeliners that often, you guys know, so I didn't pick up the black or the brown, but I was intrigued by the cream and the bronze. I felt like I would use the cream. I actually love using eyeliner in the waterline, ironically, even though I don't really use it too much on the top lid. So we're gonna be trying all these things, seeing how everything performs. I think one of the things that's super interesting about this palette is this right here. So similar to the other cream and powder products that he has created for the face, he also has 2 cream eyeshadows that have a little protective layer in here. So I'm very excited, but honestly, can we talk about the shades in this? So pretty, and also the pans are larger than I thought they would be. Seeing them in pictures online, I thought it would be a lot smaller, but these are actually pretty decently sized eyeshadows. With that being said, it is a pretty pricey eyeshadow palette, so for me personally, it was a no-brainer because I spend all my money on makeup. Like literally, that's the thing that I don't really care to splurge on when it comes to something that I feel like I will really use and love. But let me just make sure I've got the price right on this. So yeah, it's $68. So that's up there. That's like Natasha Denona palette prices. But honestly, I feel like I could use every single one of these shades. I don't want to speak too soon, but it's definitely a very, very wearable color palette. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some of the creams. I think I want to try the lighter cream shadow first. This is called Lady. I'm just gonna take that on like a flat brush. I didn't put any eyeshadow primer on because I'm assuming that this will probably double as an eyeshadow primer. I don't really know, but I just kind of want to start building a little bit of a base here. Okay, so this is a lot more pigmented than I thought. I mean, it's really, really pretty, but this just means that I'm gonna need a little bit of a fluffier brush here after I've applied it, just to blend it out so I don't overdo the amount of product. But I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of build out the shape a little. I'm gonna take it into the crease. Now, usually when I use a cream shadow type product as a base, I don't worry about it being perfect because that's where the powder product comes in. But I do feel like it is nice to kind of start off that dimension. So I'm just kind of layering the two, switching back and forth on my brush. While I'm blending this out, before I forget, I wanted to let you guys know about a couple things. So first things first, you guys probably know, filming the videos where you guys are involved and you kind of, give me suggestions are my favorite to film. I love them. I know you guys enjoy watching them. I think there's just something about working together on a video and kind of hearing what everyone's enjoying or whatever it might be, that just is so fun for me to film. It's probably really fun for you guys to watch, I'm assuming. So I have another series idea that I am wanting to do. So if you guys want to help out with that, I will have the Google form in the description box below. My plan for the series is to kind of go through category by category and get an idea of what your favorite product is, like collectively. So the first one I want to do is foundations. So if you guys want to participate and submit your top foundation, I will have it in the description box. And I don't know, I'm just curious to see what you guys are loving, like what you guys consider to be the best foundations out there. So if you want to help me with that, it'll be in the description box. Okay, so this created a really nice base. I felt like it blended out really nicely as well. It is a little bit tacky, but not super tacky. But it didn't dry down super tight. It feels like it's pretty nourishing on the lids. Let's move on to, I was gonna do the deeper cream, but I think I wanna go into powder shadows next actually. So let's start with the lightest matte shade, which is this one right here. This is literally called Transition, and I was planning on using this as a transition shade. So I'm gonna dip into the pan, tap off the excess, and we're just gonna start kind of sweeping this into the crease and a little bit above to start off the look with a transition type shade. I really like how this has a little bit more of that yellowy brown undertone. I think that's very flattering. I think what gets me when it comes to Patrick Ta is the fact that he's like one of my favorite makeup artists. He does incredible looks on so many different celebrities, and I don't know, there's just something that comes along with that. Like when you become a fan of somebody's work and then they start creating products, it's just like next level trust in a way. So, you know, I feel like anything that he creates, I automatically feel like, okay, yeah, like those tones are going to be flattering because he really knows his stuff as far as what's flattering on camera, what's flattering on a lot of different people. I don't know. I just really get excited every time like he launches something. So now let's see here. I'm going to take the shade right next to it. Actually, you know what? We're going to just go straight in with this one right here. This looks so pretty. This one is called Mother. I hope I'm reading the back of the palette right, you guys. Sometimes like brands are different with the way that they have it listed on the back of the palette. So I can get confused sometimes, but hopefully I'm reading this right. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and start to build this up on the outer edge of the eye. I was really excited about this one because it's almost like a reddish brown. Look how pretty that is. So far, these shadows are extremely buttery as well. So I'm just kind of bringing that into the crease a little bit. I'm wanting to do a halo eye. As soon as I saw this palette, I literally knew that that was the first thing I wanted to do with it, was to create a halo eye. I just feel like it would be the perfect palette to kind of create that ombre effect around the eye. So I'm just gonna pack that into the inner corner as well and just slightly connect it at the top here. That color is insanely gorgeous. I'm gonna go back in with the brush that we were using to blend out the cream shadow, and I'm just gonna use that to softly smudge the outer edge of the shadow. I'm not too worried about how things are looking as I'm blending it down, but just trying to make it fade up toward the brow more than anything right now, because we're gonna clean that up in just a second. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. It has been way too long since I've done a proper smoky eye, and this is making me very excited. I'm kind of taking the brush and opening my eyes and then just kind of nestling the brush right here on this outer portion to make sure there's quite a bit of depth there. Obviously I want to make sure the edges are blended out too, but there's just something about having a lot of depth in that area that I really want to build up a little bit more just to keep the intensity on the outer edge. Okay, I'm getting so excited. All right, let's see what we should use next. I feel like, okay. I think I'm gonna use this shade right here. Now, if I'm reading the palette right, this is called Lavish. I'm just gonna use this on my finger. This seems like a nice satin kind of taupey, no, not taupey, like camel brown is what I'm trying to say. And I'm wanting to start to build up that dimension in the center of the lid. So I'm just taking that on my finger and pressing it on the very center. So that one really doesn't have that much shimmer to it. It's a little more matte than it is satiny. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, I think that was a good start, but I definitely want a little more of a punch there. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Divine, and I'm gonna take that on my finger as well. Now this is supposed to have a matte base as well, but it also has a little teensy bit of shimmer. I watched a couple of videos about this palette, so that's what I read anyway. So there we go. That one has a little more of the dimension that I'm looking for. So now I'm gonna take the brush we were using with the deep shade and just kind of feather that out a little bit so we can start building up that center part, which is essential for a halo eye, as you all probably know. So I'm just gonna tap that in the center again. These are so buttery, especially when I use my fingers. Like you can really feel the texture, obviously, and it feels so nice. Okay, so we have a nice base shape. Now I really want to apply a little bit of a topper. So I'm actually gonna layer two. I'm gonna take this one right here called Opulence, and I'm gonna use my finger for this. Ooh, okay. This is a really interesting kind of a pressed formula. And we're gonna start using this on my finger and just popping this right in the center of the eye. I love shadows like this. Anything that's like a topper. You guys already know how I live for these types of eyeshadows. I love them. So I'm actually putting this on a little bit of a larger area because I'm gonna go in with that lighter shade right in the center. I am still focusing this shade in the center, but I want it to have a little bit more coverage. I don't know if coverage is the right word for this, but I kind of want it to cover a little bit more of the center than the next shade I'm going to use. Well, that is very beautiful. It feels very luxurious and also looks very luxurious. Okay, we're going to use the lightest shimmer shade, or topper shade, I guess I should say. And this one is called Abundance. So this is the one I'm going to really focus just on the very, very center to really highlight that halo effect. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm really enjoying how things are coming together. So now we're gonna try the bronze eyeliner. So I'm gonna take this. This is in the shade Deep Bronze, which really, it has quite a bit of pigment in there. So there is that sheen to it, but it's gonna show up pretty well, I'm assuming. It's pretty pigmented just by that swatch. So I'm just gonna take this and line the outer edge of the eye. And I'm gonna try to do a very super thin line in the center and then connect the rest down into the tear duct. Okay, that went on very smoothly. Apparently when I was watching the videos, like he said, those eyeliners dry down pretty quickly. So if you want to smudge them, you should smudge them out soon after applying them. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up any fallout under the eyes, which there was a little bit from the toppers, which is good to know. Like if you're planning on using the toppers, you'll probably want to do your eye makeup first, or at least be very careful with the toppers if you already have your face makeup on. Okay, I'm gonna tap out the edge with my fingertips so that it softens a little bit. And then I'm gonna apply my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara to just the top lashes. Okay, so now that mascara is on, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. So I'm gonna do primer, foundation, concealer. I'm gonna set everything. I'll probably do bronzer as well, and then we'll finish up the eyes and finish up the rest of the look. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've made a lot of progress now with the rest of my complexion, which by the way, you guys, I always leave links in the description box down below, and I'm gonna be trying a new linking method. It's called Shoplist. I'm trying it out. I would love to hear your guys' feedback. I'm gonna have it linked down below. I think it's really easy to navigate and shop through, and on my end, I'm able to create different categories. It's just really cool. I haven't seen that many people using it, so let me know what you guys think about how that looks. Again, I'll have it linked down below. If you guys are wondering what else I'm wearing, it will all be in the description. So let me know if you guys like Shoplist, if it was easy to navigate and all that. Let's go ahead and get back to the eyes. So first, actually, I think I'm gonna take this shade right here. This is called Absolutely, I think. Absolutely, not absolutely, I think. I'm just, again, hoping that I'm reading the back of the palette right. I'm gonna use this as my transition shade on the lower lash line. So I'm taking this all the way across, connecting it to the existing shadows on the edge, and then blending it down slightly. I'm using my BK Beauty 204 brush, which I have forgot to mention to you guys. I actually was given a code for BK Beauty brushes. They are incredible brushes. They're such high quality, and this one especially I get so much use out of, the 204, because it's perfect for the lower lash line. I don't have a lot of brushes shaped like this for the eyes, so I will have this link down below too. Okay, now that I've gone all the way across the lower lash line with that, let's see here. I'm wanting to take that reddish brown. This is such a pretty color. I'm obsessed with it. I'm gonna actually use the same exact brush, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna be even more specific with this color, taking it closer to the lashes. And this time I'm kind of wanting to create that halo effect as well. So I'm gonna leave the center bare, but I'm wanting to add that little bit more of dimension in the inner third right there. Okay, I love this brush so much. I'm actually just gonna wipe it off so that I can go in with the kind of semi-matte shade. This isn't a pure matte, it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but it definitely is a matte base. And again, this is called Divine. And I'm wanting this to be what kind of creates that halo effect on the lower lash line. Since there's a bit of shimmer in that, I'm gonna just sweep away the fallout with my brush. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the Precision Gel Liner in the shade Creme, and I'm gonna use this in the waterline. It's a really nice shade. Look at the difference that that makes. It just really brightens up any eye look. And this is such a buildable, creamy formula. It adhered to my waterline pretty quickly and then built up on itself really, really nicely. That felt very smooth in the waterline. I am gonna go in with the Deep Bronze, super close to the lash line on just that outer third. You can see how that contrast looks so nice. Same thing on this side. Okay, and now I'm just gonna put some, actually, no, yeah, I'm gonna put mascara on now. Okay, I love the contrast of that bronze eyeliner on the outer corner with the cream in the waterline. I think that really sharpened up the look and made it look very clean and put together. I'm really liking that a lot. So for me, there's not really a shade in the palette that I would use in the inner corner. Maybe that kind of matte shimmery shade I could use, but I'm actually gonna use the highlighter that I'm gonna use on the skin. So this is from Dior. I'm gonna mix the top 2 shades and just put that in the inner corner. And I'm taking what's left on the brush and just popping that underneath the brows as well. While we have this palette out, I'm gonna go ahead and take the same 2 shades, just mix them together, and I'm gonna apply that on the high points of the face. And I just wiped off the foundation on the lips because I'm wanting to do the lips first, and then I'll pick a blush at the end. I thought it would be fitting to use this shade from Patrick Ta. This is the shade She's Proud. So I'm just lining and filling in the lips with this. And then I'm gonna take the lipstick from Patrick Ta in the shade Oh She's Single and just apply that right on top. Okay, so now that I have the lip on, I actually want a little bit of a peachy blush. So this is also from Patrick Ta. This is called She's Sincere. I just think that'll kind of warm things up a little bit. So I'm gonna pop that on the cheeks. All right, I'm just gonna touch up the brows. I'm gonna take my favorite gloss from Patrick Ta. This is called She's an Influencer. And I'm gonna apply that to mostly the center of the lips. Yes, I feel like a gloss really tied in that shimmer on the eyes. I love how that looks. Okay, I'm just taking a clean brush and wiping away any mascara marks and just blending out any edges that I want a little more diffused. All right, I'm gonna assess the situation and add a little more blush. I might add a little more bronzer as well. I'm just really using this opportunity to use a lot of my favorite Patrick Ta products. So I'm gonna go in with the Major Glow Dewy Milk Mist. I'm gonna spritz the sides of the face with this. And I'm gonna use my sponge to press that in. And then I'm gonna set the brows with my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. All right, you guys, so that completes this look using the brand new Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette. I have to say, people, this lived up to my personal expectations. I'm very excited that I picked this up. I think this would be great for anyone who likes neutral tones, but you're a little bit more glam as well. I feel like you definitely could do a lot of everyday looks using the bottom row, which are a lot of mattes. But for me personally, when it comes to an everyday eyeshadow look, I tend to reach for like my bronzer and blush to create a really quick look. So for me, this is gonna be something that I reach for when I want a really special, wearable, more smoky eye that has that bit of glamour. Because I don't think I could ever reach into this palette without using the topper shades. That was my favorite part, which I'm excited. I really enjoyed them because that's what I was looking forward to the most. With that being said, again, you guys, when it comes to any makeup product, you've got to assess your own situation and figure out what you feel like you personally need, what you would use, especially when it's a little bit more of a pricey product like this. For me, again, I'm glad I bought it. I do feel like I'm gonna use this quite a bit, especially because I love so many other products from Patrick Ta, and I own the blushes and the glosses, and I just feel like that monochromatic look is what I personally aim for, and I know that's Patrick Ta's aesthetic usually as well. So if you're like that, if you're a fan of Patrick Ta, I don't think you would be disappointed by this palette at all. Is it a palette that everyone needs? Probably not. You know, we all own a lot of these tones, but let's be honest, we all own a lot of these tones because it's what is flattering usually on so many people, just those good basic staple neutrals that you'll reach into over and over again. So yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. I'm glad that I picked it up. I really love the look that I created. It was something really sultry and glamorous, and it's been a while since I've done a classic smoky eye with like browns. So I'm really liking this vibe right now, if you can't tell. I would love to hear your thoughts on this palette. What did you guys think? Is it something that excited you? Even though it is a neutral palette, I got excited. I'd love to know what you guys think, or if you picked it up. I would love to know if you got it and what you think about it, and if you would like me to create more looks with it. All right, besides the eyeshadow palette, the 2 eyeliners that I bought I actually really enjoyed as well. I think that these really cleaned up and finished off the edges of the eye look. I'm especially loving the Creme eyeliner in the waterline because that's kind of what I personally love to do with a lot of smokier looks. So I'm excited about these. Even though I'm not a huge eyeliner person, I really liked how the bronze looks and like the contrast of that on the lower lash line especially. That was my favorite part of the look. So Really enjoyed the liners as well. Before I end the video, I wanted to also make sure to mention that the 5 winners of my gift card giveaway have been selected and they will be in the description box down below. Huge thanks to everybody who entered. I appreciate you guys so much. It's been incredible to see how many of you guys have YouTube channels, and it was truly so inspiring to go through everything. So I would love it if you guys would check out the winners' channels. I will have their names and their channels linked in the description box. They all deserve so much more love and attention, as did so many other people that entered this giveaway. So yeah, if you were wondering who won the giveaway, it'll be in the description box, and be sure to send them some extra love. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber, but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. Okay, well that's it for me today. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!